On this episode of iRacing Breakdowns, we look at the iRacing National Series as they take on the 2008 Phoenix Raceway. The 1 mile 2008 Phoenix Raceway hosted this iRacing National Series only 3 months ago. The only significant change you will notice is a new damage model on this car. The 2008 version of this track is very flat, which makes it very easy to overdrive and smack the wall on exit. With the bottom being the preferred groove and passing being so hard, track position is going to be key. With all that said, let's break it down. As requested by one of you guys, I'm going to play the 2 qualifying laps, and then we'll go back and look at them. At first glance, the car would seem extremely loose, and you would be right in that assessment. As we hit the play button here and go into turn 1, you're just going to notice where we're lifting into the corner is right at the end of these billboards, right after the AAA sign. We lift there, and we nice and easy on the brake going into the corner. We're going to trail brake all the way to center. Notice we're not getting to the bottom on the first lap. Something that I noticed, if you keep it on this line coming off the corner, it wants to wreck. So as we slowly get back on the gas, you're going to notice I even have to correct. What you want to do on exit here is aim towards the wall. If you're keeping it down on this line, it's going to want to spin out. So there's the correct. Down the back straightaway, there's no dog leg to cut. It's not an even. You're just hooking it as close to the rumble strip as you can. Into 3 and 4, we're lifting right here, right at the end of the red sign there. And again, we're trail braking. We're going to hold this yellow line as close as we can. Again, the car is very loose. The first lap, I would not worry about running your quick lap, as like I said in the past, you want to get heat in these tires. So here we come to our fast lap. We're going to brake in the same spot as we did on that first lap, right after the AAA sign. We're trail braking into the corner, and here we're going to bring it all the way as close to the yellow line as we can. If we pause here and go to far chase, you're going to notice how close I do get to that line. Notice how loose this car is as well as we exit the corner. As I said, we want to steer out towards the wall. We're kind of aiming for this caution light. You're going to see we're coming off. You got to be very careful not to hit the wall, though. I run a negative 16 offset, so it looks like I'm turning to the right, but I'm really not. So you're going to see I have to turn out to keep it from wrecking. Again, coming down the backstretch, we're going to come as close to the rumble strip as we can. 3 and 4, same spot, off at the red sign, trail braking. Now here it's going to get very loose on exit. You just got to drive through it. Again, we're hugging the yellow line, coming out on the dotted line, full throttle. As we exit the corner, and I said this in my last video as well, it's the same for this style of track. We're aiming for the red dot coming off the corner, the red line right there. That's where we want to be flush with the wall, and that's a qualifying lap around Phoenix. Just know for these qualifying times, I use March 10th at 13:06 using default weather in the sim. That ended up being a track temp of 110 with a 43% usage, which is moderate track usage. These times could change with the dynamic weather, but this is the best I could do to duplicate the conditions that iRacing has put on their schedule. With that said, my best lap was a 28.517. I would say a good lap is probably going to be a low 28.5 to a high 28.4. A great lap is going to be somewhere around a low 28.4. I would not be surprised to see some of the really fast guys hitting 28.3s. With all that covered, let's get into the race run. Here we are at the start of the race. The first thing you're going to notice is we are going to launch from first gear. First gear is pretty long, so pace speed's at 55. You're going to notice it's quite a little bit till a shift. They'll get you a good jump. Remember, the car is loose these first laps just because it doesn't have heat in it. As you go into turn 1, you're going to notice it's not really bad getting in. Coming on exit is where it's really bad. You're going to see how careful I am with the gas coming off the corner just in the first lap. I'm not full throttle till we're almost off the corner. Again, coming down the backstretch, we're going to get as close as we can to the rumble strip there. 3 and 4 still lifting the same spot as qualifying, right at the red. We're going to be trail braking all the way into the corner. Do our best to hook the line. It's not going to want to stay in this first lap here. Notice I did trail brake a little longer than we did in qualifying. You're going to see right there we're drifting up. We want to be right on this line. And as we come on exit of lap 1, we're just trying to hook this yellow line and turn it into the dotted line. We're just trying to hook that coming off. Again, aiming for the red dot right there. We're getting full back on the gas. We're ready for it to be loose. And that's lap 1 of the run. So we're going to skip ahead to lap 5 of the run here. Here we go into turn 1. We're still lifting right after the AAA sign. We're still trail braking into the corner. We're going to try to get it to the bottom. And as I said before, the big thing is to save the right rear tire. So notice as we come off the corner just how little gas we're giving it. I give it full gas there, and truthfully, you don't want to be doing that. Again, as we're coming out of the corner, we're aiming for the caution light right there. We're coming off, and you probably want to stay about 75% throttle till you're almost, I would say, past pit road exit there. As we come off the corner, again, hugging the rumble strip as close as we can. 3 and 4 still lifting right after the red sign, and we're trail braking all the way into the corner. Notice how long we let the car roll before we start easing back in the gas. On exit, again, we're hooking this line nice and easy on the gas. We're aiming for the red dot out there and coming on exit. And that's lap 5 of the run. We're going to skip all the way ahead to lap 15 of the run. Here we come into the corner, and you're going to notice we're going to start lifting just a hair bit earlier. I would say about 2 car lengths before the AAA sign. We're giving it a lot more brake. If we roll that back one more time, just notice how much brake I give it. I have my brake at 62, which helps it get loose and helps you drive straight to the bottom of the track. You're going to see here, we're going to do our best to clip it. We're nice and easy on the gas. Again, aiming for the caution light, we come all the way out. A common mistake I see from a lot of people as we rewind that is when you come off the corner, you're steering too much to the outside and you'll end up smacking the wall. You don't want to be too low, as I stated before, it will spin out, but you kind of want to be right in the center, right about where I am. As we come off the corner, it's kind of loose, you just got to steer through it. We're going to hook as close as we can to the rumble strip once again. We're going to lift just a little bit earlier, going into 3 and 4. Again, trail braking and hooking the yellow line. 3 and 4 does not change as much as 1 and 2 does. Same thing through 3 and 4, aiming for the red dot, and that's lap 15 of the run. So we're going to skip ahead to lap 25 of the run. And by this point, we're starting to lift even a little bit earlier. I would say 3 to 4 car lengths for the AAA sign into 1. We're going to bring it straight to the bottom. And as I come out of a corner here, I did make quite a big mistake. As I keep saying, you don't want to keep it right on this line coming off the corner. And this is what happens when you do. So we go to far chase. You're going to see just how much the car stepped out. Overall, when I come out of the corner, I want to probably be half a car length higher. As we come off here, you're just going to see how loose it gets and how much you have to correct it. And what that does is it sacrifices all your speed down the backstretch. Still getting as close to the rumble strip as possible. 3 and 4 still has not changed that much. We're still lifting in the same spot. The only difference here is we're letting it roll a lot longer. You're going to notice here as I put it in slow motion just how much we're not on the brake or gas. Just look at how long that is there. We ease back on the throttle. Again, hooking the yellow line. Again, I make a mistake as I come too far out. If you're right on this line, it won't get loose, and you're just going to see how sideways it is there. We have to correct it. Again, coming off the corner, going to try to get right on, stay flat with the wall, right on that red mark coming off the corner, and that's lap 25 of the run. And now we're going to move all the way ahead to lap 35 of the run. you're going to notice just how loose this car has gotten. As we go into the corner, I get on the brake, and you're seeing right here, the rear end is flinged out when I do that. Just see how far out it is. We go into the corner. We're hooking the line a lot earlier, and we want to stay right on it till exit. The car has gotten a lot slower. We've fallen off almost, I would say, 0.8 of a second. So what we want to do is get right on the line, and it's really going to bog down in the corner. So we can get on the gas, again, aiming off the corner. It is loose at this point. You're just going to have to drive through it. Again, hooking as close as we can to the rumble strip. Still lifting in the same spot in 3 and 4. We're on the brake. We're trying to hook the yellow line coming off the corner, which we're going to do beautifully here. Follow it all the way out till the red line on exit. And that's lap 35 of the run. And finally here, we're on lap 40, the last lap of the race. We have fallen off almost 9/10 by this point. Still lifting about 3 to 4 car lengths before the AAA sign going in there into 1. So you're going to see we're still trail braking the same. Bring it right to the line at this point. Nice and easy on the gas. The car's going to be loose at this point. As you can see, really have to correct it. I didn't find much you could do to prevent that. My best run with tire wear, I was still sideways off the corner. Again, braking at the red, going into 3 and 4. We're hooking the line here. Notice one thing, just how much little we're on the gas and how loose the car is. That's just what's going to happen at this point. One mistake I did make is you're going to see I'm a little too low. That's why the car stepped out and we really had to save it. So you want to be right on this line, but not over it, as I was there. We're going to come off the corner, correct it. Again, aim for the red line coming off the corner. And that's a race around 2008 Phoenix. Throughout my practice, I noticed 4 things that are going to be very important this week. First, track position is going to be king. It is very hard to pass at this track, so if you can qualify good, you make your race a lot easier. Second is to save the right rear tire. This will make or break your long run speed. If you still have problems saving your tires after this video, try giving a little less gas on exit throughout your run. Third, remember with this new damage model, it is very easy to turn someone, so try not to bump anyone. And lastly, remember to practice. Not just qualifying in race runs, but also try entering and exit the corner like you are side by side with someone. I, for one, am really excited to see how this damage model affects racing in this series, and I sure hope you are as well. That is going to do it for this episode. Give this video a like if it helped you, a dislike if it didn't, and comment below if you have any questions. Also check the description for timestamps, my steering settings, and my tire wear for my run. This has been another episode of Iracing Breakdowns.